Hello, and welcome to Workshops with Willow. If you are new to this channel, please subscribe and hit the notification button to stay updated with all of our future content. Hi everybody, welcome to Workshops with Willow. I'm Willow, and today I'm going to be showing you how to cut your fabric, how it is sold, how it needs to be cut, and how to measure it. So this is my fabric. It is sold by the yard, and let me demonstrate that for you. When you go to the store, this is all wrapped around a cardboard bolt, and the employee usually unrolls it for you. So that's pretty much what we're going to do once we get it home, is unroll it and take a look at what we bought. This is what's considered yardage. The length of the fabric as it continues to unroll is the yard length of the fabric. This here is several yards, but right now I'm only going to work with some of it, pieces of it. I don't need to cut the entire yard right now. I just need to cut exactly what I need to utilize for this specific project. So what I did for the masks, this is your mask pattern that we created the other day. It is 6 inches from the nose to the ear, and we need 6 inches on the fold of our fabric. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Hold on to that idea. We're going to come right back to it. What I want to show you first is how fabric is sold also with a fold in it. It's sold on a fold. So there's an inside to the fabric. There's an outside to the fabric, as you can see here. This fabric already has a fold in it. All fabric is sold with a fold already in it, just like this. So we keep the fabric folded when we get home. And to maximize our fabric use, this is how I found it best to maximize our fabric use while making our masks. I fold 6 inches, creating a new corner, a new fold. That's not 6 inches. You can be slightly over. You can cut 6 inches and a quarter. You can cut 7 inches, but you really don't want to cut less than 6 inches, okay? Otherwise, you're going to accidentally make a child's mask. Okay, so this here is 6 inches. 6 inches in the center and 6 inches in the top. So now that we've measured this, let me show you how. This is our face piece that we created the other day. And we labeled it, this is our fold. So our fold matches up with the fold that we just created inside of our fabric pattern. Okay? So I am going to cut this out and I will be right back. Okay, everybody, welcome back. Thank you for being patient. Here is our fabric, the inside of our fabric, and the fold that we created. A little tangle for us here. So I'm going to show you how we line up our mask. This is the pattern that we made. This is the nose of the mask, the chin of the mask, and this is the fold. Now this straight edge here gets placed along the straight edge that was created, that we created in the fold. Excuse me, let me slide this up a little bit. There we go. I'm watching the camera and also watching myself. So we line the flat edge up against the flat edge of the fold in the fabric that we created. Some people like to pin their projects. I don't necessarily like to pin my projects because I happen to stab myself with the pins. So I press it firmly and I don't really press it firmly, I just hold it still. There's a good likeliness that you can shift fabric around while you're cutting, and I just don't want to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it firmly, and then I'm going to follow, oops, while I watch through the camera, follow this line right here up to where we marked it to create our chin piece that meets our straight fold line. There we go. So we don't cut this fold off. We never cut the fold off. Never cut this, okay? This is so interesting, cutting through an an aerial camera lens to make sure that you can see what I'm doing. Okay? And then we cut out this curve over here. And come down here to the bottom, and we need to cut this little extra piece of fabric off also. Okay? You'll have little scrap corners. You can go ahead and set those aside so that later we can stuff a doll. So I'm going to put the pattern aside, and I'm going to show you the piece of fabric that we cut. Open. It should look similar to bat wings. Okay? But we're going to close it back over, and we're going to leave the pretty darkest pattern on the inside. We are going to leave the velvet on the inside. For the fabric that I showed you earlier, the orange fabric, that would need to be folded inside out. So we always fold fabric inside out. Okay? Alright then. So I do want to share with you a trick that I use when cutting my patterns. I find sometimes that as I'm using my pattern over and over again, the paper becomes worn, the edges will become frayed and disheveled. So what I like to do when I'm drawing my patterns is let it come into focus. There we go. I do not allow a seam allowance beyond my pattern, if you see that. There is no seam allowance against my pattern, and that is because the seam allowance has already been calculated into our measuring space. That's already been allotted for. I'm going to go grab another piece of fabric, and I will be right back to show you how to cut pockets. And so we meet again. This time we're going to use polka dots and make a cute little polka dot pocket. I'm not using anything that's directionally challenged right now because I really just want to have the opportunity to show you exactly what I'm doing. So here's our fabric again. There's our fold that we created in the fabric. I wanted to trick you and put it on the other side this time. Here's our pattern and everything that we drew. And it says on our pattern that the fold is on this side. Well, does that mean that I want to put my pattern down on the fabric like this and go cutting from over here? No. Instead, we just flip it over and match the fold to the fold. See? And then we cut. Remember, everything along this line, everything along this line, and then go ahead and cut that, almost straight line across the top. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and cut this, and I will be right back. And there you have it, folks. There's your chin piece. Okay? Alrighty then, here is our pocket fold on this side. So again, I'm going to take our pocket piece, turn it over so that the fold matches the fold that we created. The cool thing about having a straight edge like this after cutting the last piece is that we have a straight edge for this piece. Alrighty, so what we're going to do is we're going to follow this line here, not to cut the fold, and this line here, releasing the fabric. Okay, so I'm going to cut it, and I will be right back. Alright everybody, here you have it. There is your nose piece. Okay, cut on the fold. It looks like the top of our bat pieces. This is our chin piece. Cut on the fold. Whoops. Cut on the fold. It looks like the bottom of your bat wings. And, well, maybe they should be butterfly wings since we're making a butterfly mask. Here's your butterfly face piece. Okay. So now that we have all these pretty little pieces together, or cut apart, I'm going to show you how to put them all together. Thank you for watching. Remember, if you love art and love this channel, by shopping at the art store or becoming a Patreon member, your contributions support this channel and its content.